Hi, in this tutorial you will learn how to add bin programmatically. In the previous tutorial you learned how to add bin using the add bin annotation. You also learned how to add bin using the stereotype annotation. Okay, to do this, let's remove this add post construct annotation, and we will also remove this add component. So inside the config, that is the app config, we have this. Okay, so let's remove it also, the add component scan that we used to look for the, that is the stereotype annotation classes. Let's save the changes and go to the app.java. So here I will show you the example on how to add bin programmatically. So there are cases where you want to specify condition before adding bin. So you don't just add bin the way we add the using the add bin and stereotype. Maybe you have your condition for adding the bin. Okay, now let's start with this. Okay, now we will define a new book and let's remove this for now or comment it, equal to new book. Okay, now that we have this new book, let's set the title and the author for this book. That is the book we want to be added as a spring. Okay, but let's name this as B because we will have another for the book again. So let's set B dot set author Stephen Hawking, and then we need the B dot set title. That is the title we want here is that, let's say it, a brief history, a brief history of time. Okay, so this is the book that we want to add to the spring context, and let me add the another field here, private string category. So, and I will provide the getters and setters for this field. So we factor our sources, generate getters and setters for the category. Okay, generate. Okay, now that we have the getters and setters for this, let's go back to the app.java. So let's set the category p.set category. Let's set we want to choose the book based on the category. I will set science. Okay, so what we will do now is that we will use another method of the context, register bin, okay, to set this. Okay, so let's say if statement, if b dot get category equals size, then we will add this to the spring context. Using what context? We will get the method registered bin. So let's set registered bin. As you can see, we have a lot of registered bin. We have bin class, bin definition. Okay, so we will not use all these: string, bin name, bin class, customizer. Okay, So we will use the one that has the supplier. So let's specify first by the bin name. Let's name this science, the name of the bin, science, and it is book dot class, and we need to set the that is supplier that we want to set here is that it will return the p, that is the book object. Okay, so and the last thing we need to do, we need to set the behavior, whether to set it as primary or something else, and we will use the customizer or consumer to set this attribute as primary. Set primary. Okay, and I will set this to false. So this is what we have here. We have the science book, and then we also use this customizer. And let's change the project compilers to JRE8. Okay, let me change this. Okay, you see we doesn't have this. Okay, so on for this we will use the book to get the bin, whether if it is added. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, let me explain clearly. First, we define the book that we want to add to the Spring context programmatically, and here we are adding the book to the Spring context programmatically by checking to see if it is a science book, and then we also here getting it if we have it, and if it doesn't have, we may have a trouble, that is exception, getting this. So let's save these changes and run. Okay, the get category, let's save the book here. Okay, you see the arrow is gone. So let's run this. You see we have a brief history of time Stephen Hawking. That is because it is a science book. So now let's say that we change this to another author, Chinua Achebe, and then set his book Things Fall Apart. Things Fall Apart. Okay, and this type category is literature, and now we are checking if it is a science. You can see we will not have a bin now. So let's run this. Okay, you see we have the exception, no qualifying type for book available because we doesn't have the book the inside our Spring context. But what if we change this to literature and save the changes? Now we are checking for if we have the literature, we can add it to the Spring context. You see we have Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe. That is how we add bin to the Spring context programmatically. So see you in the next